first things first, what you want to do is turn on the machine. You want to plug in the back switch of the prongs, plug it into an outlet. There isn't an on and off switch, so you just plug it in and let it go. It'll take a minute to reboot. Once it's rebooted, you want to start up your spreadsheet. Once you start up your spreadsheet, then you want to plug in your USB from where this CubiScan and plug it into the computer. I'm going to close this for a second, plug it in, let it sit for a couple of seconds so it loads in. Then I'm going to click on the actual file. You'll know when it's running when it gives you up 4 different lines of operations that it's going to do. Once it's set, the best thing to do is just put it on the side, have this run on its side, so then you can constantly see back and forth what's going on. So I'm going to start with the easiest box. The easiest box is just a simple box, something that's big, usually runs pretty well. It'll give you the weight. When you click MSR, it'll give you the length, width, and height. It won't give you the cube. The cube will be the volume right here on the screen. So you take the length and width and height, you can multiply it yourself or look onto the screen. So what I do is I first get the weight down, and then I get the volume, which would be the cube. And then most of the time I look over here and look for length, width, and height because it's a bigger screen instead of looking at these numbers. But you can still look at these numbers. The dim weight has nothing to do with your actual weight. Just go with actual weight. Okay, now we're going to go on to a more difficult product. The difficult product is, it's difficult because it's thin. It will measure the height, but it won't measure the length and width. As I press here, and it doesn't show the length and width, but it'll measure the height. Okay, so how you solve that problem, or how I solve this, is I take a yellow sticky note, kind of just have it stand up. You can use anything as long as it stands up, but it does add probably about 0.5 of a pound. So you want to make sure you take off 0.5 of a pound, which I'm doing. And then I hold up this. I click MSR, and it'll actually give me the width and length because it's calculating by these two. Then you can take them off. The numbers will still stay the same. The volume will stay the same. The weight will not. It'll be 0.15 because I measured it with a 0.5 of a pound. So now, or 0.1 of a pound. So now it's going to give me a 0.05 of what the actual weight is. So I'm going to plug in this actual weight. I'm going to do volume. And then length, width, and height. I'm going to rinse and hash and resign with both of those. And this is probably one of the most difficult products. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. If it's heavy, it usually does. And here's the thing. When this goes to just dotted lines, that means you're going to have to reset it. So a simple reset is make it way into 0. So just click the 0 button, or go to 0, 0, then you're ready to start again. Sometimes you'll do it, but you have to do it when it's always dotted. So now it's giving me the weight. I got to press MSR. And then this one's actually going to give me the length, width, and height. Sometimes if they're too small products, and they're just fitting in this corner, it'll give you totally different numbers. So you can solve it by getting, by just taking up a sticky note and just ripping it in the small pieces. And you can just plug it right here. And it'll read the smallest things, but it, for some reason, will not read the actual, the product. But that's simple, and that's how you usually just plug it in. You just plug it in with the same numbers. Always look at the weight. Don't use the weight on this screen because if you use sticky notes, it'll change the actual weight. And that's it.